Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're talking about the Animated Army deck. So this is another new Bloomburrow deck, and if you guys want to see me review all of them, talk about all things Bloomburrow, make sure you subscribe, share the videos around and stuff like that, and get us some, love and stuff. We're slowly kind of building up the channel, and it's been amazing, and thank you so much for everyone's help so far. So this deck here is based around basically artifacts and enchantments, and all those artifact enchantments, thanks to the commander, will then get turned into elementals as long as their mana value 4 or greater. And those elementals will be indestructible, hasted, and whenever they deal combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So you can imagine there is a lot of kind of big mana stuff in here, and it's not even just about, the artifacts and enchantments being big mana. It's also about the creatures. There's also a lot of kind of Calamity beasts, and they've gone harder into the Calamity beasts here, which is interesting as well. I'm pretty excited about that, and I hope you guys are too, because I love the Calamity beasts, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right. So having a look at the creatures, we've got the typical kind of some mana dorks in here, or, stuff to be able to ramp us up, which is nice. We've got some of the expend cards as well. So if you don't know what expend is essentially when you spend whatever amount of mana that is during your turn, you will get to cast spells, you'll get to do something special. So if you spend 8 mana, then you'll expend 8, and then you get to do something. So this Trail Tracker Scout here, whenever you expend 8, you get to return permanents from your graveyard to your hand. Now, one thing about this deck is that while, it is just a Gruul deck, and it is just, focused around one raccoony dude, it is not a raccoon tribal deck. There is some raccoons in here, mostly because they kind of synergize with the whole expend and big mana stuff, but it is not an actual, raccoon based deck. We've got stuff to buff up our creatures and stuff. We've got some, the Bright Cap Badge is actually really interesting. It makes it so at the end of your, at the beginning of your end step, you create a Saproling, and all Saprolings you have tap add green, which is really cool. We've got Goreclaw to reduce the cost of those creature spells, the big creature spells, and yeah, down here you can see the big kind of creature spells that they've got down here, as well as the secondary commander, Wild Seer, which is one of the wow, my brain's blanking. One of the Calamity beasts. It gives all your enchantment spells cascade, which is really good, especially because of the fact that they're all kind of big mana cost. So we've got Wild Seer, we've got the Pyre Swipe Hawk as well, and I think there's the Evercoat Ursine as well as another Calamity beast there. So that's 3 Calamity beasts. Yeah, it looks like 3 big kind of Calamity beasts here. We've got a reprint for Grothama, All Devouring, as well as a reprint here for Tendershoot Dryad. Both of those really great, especially because Tendershoot obviously synergizes well with the other, the Bright Cap Badger here, which, yes, they've made a joke about badgers and mushrooms. So as for Domri, so the Domri that you get in this is going to be a new version of Domri, the Imagine Courageous Critters Domri, which is a porcupine. I don't know, I don't like that art as much as I liked the other one that I was looking at just before, but it's nice to kind of see them re-flavor them. To me, I like that kind of thing. Spells, there's nothing kind of big notable kind of reprints in here, mostly just, Gruul, control and ramp up. Blasphemous Act is the big kind of board wipe is good. Artifacts, no, all the mana artifacts are just the normal ones. As for kind of bigger artifacts up here, we've got Bootlegger Stash, which is really great. Tap, create treasures. Rolling Hamsphere is a new one, which creates some red hamster tokens and then deals damage equal to the amount of hamsters you have. And then you've got some big kind of ramping ones here, like Gilded Lotus, Thran Dynamo, Hedron Archive, all kind of big ramping enchantments. Sorry, not enchantments, artifacts. Also Spine of Ishtar, which is the first time I've ever seen this card. When it enters, destroy target permanent. When it is put into the graveyard from a battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. Okay, cool. I guess if you want to kind of sack it for something, that's not too bad. The enchantments, though, there are some great ones in here. First of all, you've got Garruk's Uprising, which, while isn't a very expensive enchantment, like expensive money wise, it is a good reprint and going to be useful here, especially because it's going to give all of those, you know, 4/4 hasted indestructible creatures trample, which is good. We've got Alchemist Talent, which is the new one. When it enters, create 2 tapped treasures. Treasures you control have tap, add 2 mana of any one color, and then whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, this class deals damage equal to the mana's spell's mana value to each opponent. You've also got Rain and Riches to create more treasures too. Greater Good is an amazing reprint. That's actually probably the best reprint in here, except for, you know, money wise, Tender Shoot's obviously higher, but Greater Good I think is probably the better kind of reprint to see here. Path of Discovery is a great reprint too. Gracious Violence is great. Unnatural Growth as well is really great. You know, they've done some really kind of decent reprints in regards to the enchantments. The artifacts are a little bit lacking in regards to price. The Bootlegged Stash is going to be really good, but overall, most of the really kind of great enchantments are here within great reprints are here within the enchantments. As for the lands, you know, it's not too bad for a kind of land base here. They've kind of gone very similar to like the Squirrel deck. You've got Mosswort Bridge, which is really nice. Not in regards to money, but just great. A Pain land as well there. Fast land. Wait, is it Fast land? No, yeah, Fast land. So overall, you know, not a bad kind of land base. There are better cards that you can obviously use in the land base here, but overall, you know, the land base that they've chosen isn't bad for like a precon. It's not bad, right? Like they've started doing a lot better with the precons. Overall, you know, I think the deck looks really nice. I think having bigger payoffs for having big creatures would probably be a good idea, because, you know, there's not kind of like, I guess you've got like Garruk's Uprising here, and you know, Grothamar's not too bad either. No, that's just a big creature. It's not kind of a big creature payoff. Some more of like the actual raccoons from the base set would have been nice to see as well, especially because that would add more of like the expend mechanic, because you're obviously going to be spending big mana to create things and play these kind of big enchantments and big artifacts. So that would be really nice. They also only included 1 vehicle, it looks like, which is the Essica's Chariot. It would have been nice to kind of see more vehicles, and that's definitely the way I think that this deck would be playing incredibly funly, is if you take Bellow, add a whole bunch of big vehicles in here as well, and replace kind of, I guess you got Rolling Handsphere, that's a big vehicle, which you'll be able to make bigger, and it's already a 4/4, so it doesn't matter the fact that you're going to be like animating it with Bellow instead. Yeah, overall, I don't think it's too bad. Don't think it's like the kind of big kind of breaker I was hoping for, especially because, as I said, they kind of lent into some of the big creatures here. I guess Goreclaw is good because of the fact that it's going to be buffing up your ones that Bellow is going to be creating. It's just some big payoffs for like the big creatures would have been good too. So I guess that's a big thing that you can kind of add in here as well. So I'd love to hear from you guys as to what you think. As I said, I think that there's decent reprints in here. I think that the deck plays well into the kind of big mana spending, but I think it's a little bit lost between big mana spending on creatures and big mana spending on the enchants. And then the artifacts, I think, are a little bit lacking in here. So there's kind of some clear areas that can go for upgrades as well. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a great day and goodbye.